So I get comments like these all the time. The tech market is cooked, no one's hiring, it's impossible to break in. But if that's true, how did I get my offer letter in 90 days without any degree after driving Uber in New York City for 8 years? Listen, I don't got no previous experience. Let me be crystal clear. Nothing about me screamed like I'm a tech professional. Nothing. I didn't have a computer science degree. I wasn't some coding prodigy. I didn't know what SQL. Nothing. My parents weren't big time executives, and I definitely didn't have any real connections in the industry to network. I just had one thing: the drive to change my life. Before I landed my tech support job in Manhattan, I did what most people did. I tried everything. I took courses on Udemy, Coursera, TryHackMe. There was even a free course on Blue Team Level 1 I did. And honestly, they were all great. I'm not gonna lie to you. They were all really good in their own way. But when I finished, I'd sit there asking myself the same question. Okay, now what? That question haunted me because the truth was I wasn't ready. I had knowledge, but I didn't have skill. And employers can smell that a mile away. Then one day, while I was scrolling through jobs on Indeed, I just had this thought. I normally had this negative feeling whenever I'd look at the job description, right? It would say 4 years experience required. But this time I thought to myself, why does that matter? That's when I realized when job descriptions say we're looking for somebody with experience, what they really mean to say is we're looking for somebody with skill. Experience is just proof of skill. And that realization was a really big moment for me because now I felt, okay, I just got to prove my skill. Or in other words, prove I can do the job. Now listen, just stay with me because I promise you, if you pick up what I'm putting down, you will get the same results I got. That's when I started looking for a course that didn't just teach concepts, right? But actually trained me like I was already on the job, right? And to be honest, there aren't many. Most of the courses are driven to help you get a certification, and that's great. But I wanted one that will help me develop skills. And that's when I found Course Careers. I was watching this Josh Madakor video, and he was interviewing a student and with no degree, and he landed a job in 4 weeks. What? At first, honestly, I was skeptical. I mean, how could people really land an IT job in 4 weeks with no degree, right? It sounded like one of those too good to be true bullshit ass ads. So instead of just believing the hype, I did my homework. I looked up those people who posted their Course Careers testimonial on LinkedIn. I found their profiles and I saw they were working in real IT roles. Some even had moved into cybersecurity. And that's when I realized it wasn't hype, right? It was a path, and I decided to take it. This video is about that journey and how you can recreate it step by step. I'm gonna try to be as detailed, as verbose as possible. You might wanna save this as one of your watch laters. Let's go ahead and get into it. Here's what we're gonna break down today. Number one, the real reason why most people stay stuck in this job market, right? Everybody says the job market is cooked. What the fuck does that even mean? Number two, why you must build a portfolio if you have no experience. Number three, why Course Careers is a viable option for breaking into entry-level IT support. And then number four, free content versus paid courses. What's actually worth it for your time? And throughout, I'm gonna share what worked for me, where I messed up, and how you can skip the mistakes that slowed me down. Let's start with the big one, why people get stuck. Everyone knows the market is competitive right now, but here is the harsh truth. Most people are learning to pass tests, not build skills. They're cramming like it's high school again. They're memorizing definitions, memorizing workflows. They're collecting certificates like they're Pokemon cards. They spend months studying theory, network layers, security frameworks, encryption algorithms, but they can't fix a printer. They can't reset a password. They can't troubleshoot a simple connection issue. And it's not their fault, right? Most online courses are like learning to swim by reading about water. You might know the strokes, but if you've never felt the resistance, the balance, and the rhythm, you'll never know how to swim. Skills only develop under resistance, and resistance happens only through practice. When I look back at my own journey, I realized I wasn't applying what I learned. In a way, I was trying to get certified, but I wasn't working on becoming qualified, and there's a difference. Certified means you pass exams and get certificates. Qualified means you have the skills to perform on the job. Now, this isn't everything. There's a lot more of why people get stuck, but this is probably the biggest thing that keeps most people stuck trying to break into the tech industry. And if you think I need to know everything before I apply, no. You just need to know how to solve a few key problems very well, because that is what employers care about. Nobody's gonna expect you to know everything. Number 2, why you must build a portfolio. Now here's the thing. If you don't have experience, you need evidence of your skill. And the best evidence is a portfolio. Think of your portfolio like a digital gym. It's where you build visible muscle. Every home lab, every ticket you solve, every project that you finish, it's a rep. When I built my first portfolio project, it wasn't fancy. It was a small ticket tracking system that I did with Course Careers. But when I started talking about it in interviews, their eyes lit up, the recruiters, because now I wasn't telling them that I could do the job. I was showing them. A good portfolio, number 1, shows that you can solve real problems relevant to the job. It proves you understand the workflow of the job. And then number 3, it gives you confidence when you talk about your skills. A key word you should always remember about a portfolio is relevance. Your portfolio should be relevant to the job you're applying for. When you pair that with Course Careers, which guides you through labs and projects, you basically get a shortcut to skill building without the debt of traditional college. All right, section number 3, why does Course Careers work? So many other programs fall short. It's not because it's some course, it's a mini boot camp. When I went through Course Careers, I noticed 3 things that made it different than, let's say, for example, the IT support course on Coursera with Google. It's practical. You learn what you actually use on the job, right? You're gonna learn how to use ticketing systems, which is literally the number 1 tool that you'll be using on the job. You're gonna be using Zendesk. You're probably gonna be using Jira. It depends on the company, but you need to know that workflow, and it goes through that. And then number 2, it's structured. It's not an endless rabbit hole, right? You're guided step by step until you can demonstrate the skills. So another thing, going back to Course Careers, is community driven. This is a huge part, right? And I really recommend, if you do take the course, you take advantage of that, because you're not alone. You get access to mentors and a network of students who are also landing jobs. The results just speak for themselves, right? For me, like, there's nobody that can ever convince me this is bullshit, because I'm working full-time as a technical support specialist in Manhattan, right? I got benefits, weekends off, and I still devote a lot of time to learning so I can eventually get into cybersecurity, right? I used to think that it was absolutely mandatory that you need a degree to get into tech. But now I realize that that's not true. You need competence, and Course Careers will help you build that fast. If you want help structuring your learning, building a real portfolio, a great portfolio that will get you interviews and get you hired fast, I'm gonna leave a link to the free IT support course down by Course Careers. This is to get into IT support, help desk, and tech support. Get your entry-level role. I'm not saying you're gonna make 6 figures, but get your foot in the door, and then you can move on to something else. So section 4, free content versus paid courses. Which should you choose? Let's address this big question everybody has, right? Why should I pay for a course when there's free content online everywhere? And you know what, to be honest, that is a fair question. I used to think that way too. But think of it like this. Free content is like an open buffet. There's everything you could ever want, but you have no plate, no direction, and no portion control. You have to figure out everything for yourself. You have no guidance, you have no nuance, just a bunch of food. How do you know what to take? How do you know what order to take it in? How do you know what's outdated or what's important? You'll likely end up overloading, getting overwhelmed, and not finishing even half of what you started. A good course, on the other hand, is like a meal plan. It saves you time, it gives you structure, and it makes sure you're eating the right things in the right order. So yes, you could piece together everything from YouTube and Reddit, but time is your most valuable resource. Course Careers gave me structure, community, and speed, and that's really what I was paying for. And honestly, I'll take any course if it delivers. Let's just be honest. Like, what's the point of paying money if it doesn't deliver results? I really wish there was a course like this, for example, that I'm talking about for identity access management, because that's literally my goal right now. But right now there isn't, but I don't know, maybe it'll be made into the future. All right, listen, I hope you're really getting value out of this. And I just want to like kind of give some closing thoughts, right? Breaking into tech, I've learned, is not about being the smartest person in the room. It's about being the most resourceful, the most consistent, and being an effective communicator. If you stay consistent, you follow a proven path, and you focus on building relevant skills instead of collecting certificates, your life can change pretty fucking fast. And trust me, I'm living proof of that. So if you're serious about breaking into tech and you want a course that will help you build real job ready skills, man, check out Course Careers in the description. And whether you enroll or not, just commit to building a portfolio. Focus on practicing and don't fall for the myth that the market is too saturated, because the truth is there's always room for people who can do the work. And if I can do this, if I was able to break in after 8 years of driving Uber, 25,000 trips later, you can bet your ass that you can do it too. Now, listen, if you enjoyed this content, let me know. I'm trying to get more content out there. Subscribe. I'm going to be doing deep dives. I got a video I'm working on right now where I'm showing how to solve tickets as a tech support person. Like, just to give you the inside scoop, I know people like do like a day in the life of a tech support, but I want to show you what it really looks like to solve tickets. What am I thinking about? What that looks like. If that's available, you're going to see that video linked right here or linked below. But definitely subscribe, hit the like button, leave a comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.